There's just something about space and the possibility of aliens that piques our interest as human beings. There's so much vastness and wonderment within the universe that it's a perfect playing ground for sci-fi movies, books, and video games. And there is no series in that genre that is more established than Bungie's brainchild, Halo. The first Halo came out for Xbox in November of 2001 and was an instant hit and skyrocketed the Xbox forward to become a mainstream console. The release of Halo 2 and Halo 3 were no exception. Halo 3 was even the best-selling game of all time when it was released, rivaling Hollywood blockbuster movies in sheer profit and sales numbers. Over the years, Halo has had a few spin-offs, like the strategy game Halo Wars and the HD remake of Halo 1, Halo Anniversary. But what I am talking about today is a game that was first released for mobile devices and then ported over to Steam, Halo Spartan Assault. Halo Spartan Assault is a top-down twin-stick shooter where you play as Spartans, taking on the traditional Halo aliens, the Covenant. The game is split into multiple sections, each with 5 missions, and most taking around 20 or so minutes to complete. The missions involve destroying a target, finding missing troops, or holding out for a specified amount of time against waves of enemies. The missions are exciting, and the action changes up enough for you to not get bored of the same old thing. The game also has a point system to get primary weapons, secondary weapons, and power-ups. The points are received through playing missions, and the points you get after completing each give a purpose to play as best you can. The game also has the traditional Halo Skulls system, although a little bit different, as the skulls you already actually have from the beginning of the game, whereas in other Halo games you have to generally collect them. This raises the difficulty in certain ways, applying replayability to try out each different difficulty level through the entire game. The game also has a generic stars system, giving even more replayability to the game to get gold in all levels. The controls are what you would expect. WASD to move and E to switch weapons. It's basic, but works really well, and the keys are very responsive to your movements, which gives a feel of tight controls, which is really needed in a twin-stick style shooter. Firing weapons at enemies is also really satisfying. The better weapon, the easier it is to kill enemies, and enemies don't take a million shots to kill either. The story is a bit weak, but in a mobile game ported over to Steam, it's remarkable it has one at all. So I can't really hate on it knowing that, and the voice acting in it is actually fairly decent.
The time the fighting was done, well, it didn't end well for the UNSC or the Covenant. Either one. Spartans Davis and Palmer were both stationed on Dratheus V's moon at the time of the first attack. Let's see how they succeeded in repelling the first assault waves.
Overall, this game is definitely not the big Halo epic we were hoping for, but it's definitely a good time waster and time holder while we wait for the next one to come out on the Xbox One. Now, this game is actually really fun though. I would recommend it to anybody that's interested in anything twin-stick, or anything top-down shootery, or anything space-oriented, and even Halo fans can get some enjoyment out of it. I personally love Halo, and I really found this game quite fun and entertaining for the few hours that it does take. And it's definitely worth the money, because it's only like $10 on Steam, and I got a good 4 hours out of it just playing the missions, and not replaying it for any of the difficulty, or trying to get the stars, or points, or whatever. So there's definitely a bunch of hours of content in it for a really, really reasonable price. It's quite good, and it's the first real Halo game we've gotten since Halo 2 on PC anyway, so it's worthwhile to give it a shot. But again, keep in mind it is not a big Halo game, so if you were expecting something with Halo 2's epicness, you're not going to find that here. You're just going to find a nice little game to waste a couple of hours on. But overall, I have to say it's really good. And if I was going to give it a score of 10, which for whatever reason people are asking me for, I'd have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely enjoyable. Give it a shot. Enjoyed that video? Check out my video for A Mother's Inferno, or perhaps me getting really angry at amiibos. And of course, you can watch my obligatory top 5 games of 2014 if you want to, too. And if you really enjoyed, leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Thanks for watching.